Welcome, Nastya. It's really great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting, I guess.
I guess. Are you not sure what's coming up? Is that it?
Absolutely not.
Ulyanovsk.
Yeah, you said it very nicely.
Ulyanovsk.
It's a motherland of Lenin, if you know this guy.
Oh,
like
yes.
A revolutionary kind of.
He's basically my what do you call my patron saint, because he's the same name as I do, only with like the two letters in the end swapped around. Okay.
I sent one email to all the districts. Like, please do mir melde Zettel.
Yeah.
And the variety of answers I got. That's so funny. They just don't know. They don't have like a standard procedure.
Really?
Yeah.
Should it be a full body shot?
No. Would you very weird. On the back.
And then also the way you said that, like a radio speaker. Should it be a full body shot? That was a little. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Especially, it's weird for a May 35, because in a May 35 they also don't speak English.
Der Lenin ist am Start und coole Gäste sind parat. Ja, ihre Kombos, die gehen hart, so wie sein Oberlippenbart. Es sind harte Konvos. Aha. Es sind harte Konvos. Es ist ein Podcast, yeah.
Es ist ein Podcast, Bro. Herzlich willkommen, liebe Kellerasseln, zu einer weiteren Folge von HarteConvosS1E2. Heute habe ich eine ganz besondere Person bei mir im Wohnzimmer, die liebe Nastya. Nastya kommt aus Russland, aus einer Stadt, deren Namen ich nicht einmal versuchen werde zu buchstabieren, und ist für ihr Studium nach Wien gekommen. Dabei ist sie ziemlich oft mit der berühmten österreichischen Bürokratie in Berührung gekommen, was durch den Krieg in der Ukraine natürlich nochmal um einiges schwieriger war. Sie hat sicher einiges zu erzählen. Ich werde jetzt für den Rest der Show aber auf Englisch switchen, to accommodate her, gotta be culturally open, and I'm just digging my hole here. So welcome, Nastya. Do we want to retake that?
No, it's okay. Nastya is fine now.
Okay, no,
I was named worse on beach and stuff.
We did 3 shows today already, and now Adam decides to turn on the light like right after I say before I finished introducing you. So it is what it is. We gotta keep rolling with it. Welcome, Nastya. It's really great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting, I guess.
I guess. Are you not sure what's coming up? Is that it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Also, it's a weird choice of the guest for your new podcast.
Why?
Because I don't know. I thought you invite someone either like famous or someone who knows someone famous, so it's like a clickbaitable thingy. I guess Toby at least like knows Niki Lauda or something.
He was here.
Yeah, but my best flex is that I know Toby, I think.
I mean, you're basically 2 steps removed from Niki Lauda, which is pretty good.
Is Toby before me or after me? In a order?
He is before you.
Nah, then there's nothing for me to achieve here anymore.
Oh, goddamn. Well, thank you, Nastya, for being here. No, I'm kidding. How long do you actually know that Toby? Like, how long, first of all, do you actually know that you know Niki Lauda, like who Niki Lauda even is?
Since you talked about it with Toby.
So, like 2 months ago? 1 month ago?
1 month ago, yeah.
Mm. So, I mean...
That's all my knowledge.
So you've known Niki Lauda for 1 month after he passed away, which is like cooler than Toby, who knew him when he was alive. Because how do you get to know a person after they passed away?
You can also call me very patriotic, because Niki Lauda is actually the only Formula 1 racer I know in general.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
True Austrian.
No one else exists for me.
I mean, you probably know Michael Schumacher, right? Also, this is me being Austrian-brained, just assuming that everybody from the entire planet knows the same people I do, We have a tendency to do that. Yeah.
I'm as unaware about Formula 1 as I can be, and I'm happy to stay in this position.
I think that's okay. I think that's fine.
Yeah, maybe because most of my brain is occupied by Austrian bureaucracy on a daily basis. It does not have space anymore for.
Thank you for finding that
smooth,
transition. Yeah. That was very clean. Much cleaner than if I would have done it. That's why I also had to point it out, because I'm not that good. It's maybe you should host a podcast. Like Dimitri is nodding. What do you mean by that, Dimitri? I'm allowed to say this. You're not.
I'm just nodding, man.
You're agreeing.
I think he's just nodding by default. It's like very good. I sometimes do this when I'm talking to people and I'm not really involved in the conversation. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean you were not listening? Now he's just nodding again.
Also, I was wondering, why do you invite? Why do you invite me? But you invited me for the topic of Austrian bureaucracy. Like other people, okay, it's something that they chose for their life, like consulting, I don't know, entrepreneurship. And for me, I don't know, was Austrian bureaucracy my life choice? No, it's just like was put upon me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And but I have to be honest now, like, aside all the jokes, I think we Austrians really like to joke about it, like everything is so so hard in here. You have to wait, a long time at the magistrate and whatever. But the real impact I think that it can have is lost on us. So I think actually there's a lot of value to having you here. So I'm very happy that you did decide to show up, even though you're very skeptical, or you appear to be very skeptical. Of course I did on the cables. Even though you're very skeptical about your presence here, which is okay, I understand. Welcome still.
Yeah, I feel very welcomed. I like the logo of your podcast.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask whether or not this photo shoot was like a real thing, or what is it, like a joke?
You're like, basically I reappropriated pictures from a photo shoot that my mom put on me when I was 17 years old or something. If you want, I can show you the originals. It was quite...
the one with the jacket, with the sacco is very nice, like on the shoulder.
Yeah, right, where I look very professional here, but I have a folder with all of these photos still, because you still might need them, but as time went on, I got older and older, and now I look nothing like this person. And there are many good examples in here. Wait, I opened the pictures and now it opened it on the other desktop again. Sorry, I'm a boomer right now. Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
It looks like a very bad stock picture.
Yeah, right. It's pretty bad, I would say. And then, of course, here we have this guy. Yeah. He's trying to sell you a mortgage you don't need. But I feel like at the same time, he's doing it because he's so trustworthy, You
look like you go to church.
That's an insult, and I'll take it because I agree.
Oh, okay. That's like more like casual.
This is more like a casual vibe, I'm both very professional, but I'm also down to earth. You know what I mean?
But you look straight in the future for your perspectives.
Right, yeah. Exactly. It's like just seeing what's out there for me, seeing what wine to grab a hold of, seeing where to go next.
Voluntary job that does not pay.
Exactly, that's what I chose for my life, and this is me thoroughly considering the decisions I made in my life and regretting them wildly.
I'm sorry, but it does not look like you have a single thought in your head in this picture.
I know, and the Gucci belt is not helping. It's so loud. It's like, hey, this is me, and I have a Gucci belt.
How old are you here?
17.
It's respectful that you still have this T-shirt.
Right. I still have the belt, of course. But I mean, it's Gucci, so you gotta. But no, I mean, yeah, it's like, I think around that time, like very recently before that picture was taken, I got the T-shirt.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That is still around.
It still happens. And then here we have a little black and white. By the way, Dimitri and Adam are laughing in the back. All of these pictures were edited at the discretion of the photographer. And the positions, I have to say this, because they look so corporate and so cringe. I did not choose these positions myself. Like the photographer put me in these positions. Yeah. And I think it's especially noticeable with this picture right here. Like, this is the best picture that exists of me. You know what I mean?
This guy sells life insurance.
This guy sells life insurance.
Oh, but what are your hands on? It's like a chair?
Yeah, I'm sitting like I'm very young and I'm youthful, so I turned the chair around so I can like put my hands on the thing. And you can, I don't know. This is 17-year-old Lenny was an interesting phenomenon, I would say. An interesting individual here, yes.
Really nice skin,
Photoshop. I have another picture I can show you if we're on the topic already, where you can see that the photographer, and I do have to respect him for that, he spent some time in the trenches. It's a picture of me with my girlfriend here. So I will try to only show my side because I didn't ask her if I can show her before. But like this was my skin. For every single picture that we got here, the photographer was in the lab for at least a full night.
You look very like a 17-year-old though.
Yeah.
Here more than on the other pictures.
Yeah.
On the other pictures you look kind of younger. You look like you are going to the first grade of school.
But at the same time, these are like pictures for, the subreddit 13 or 30, where you don't know if a person is 13 or 30 years old. And I feel like this is like really, I should post them on there. Like Dimitri was like, post them. Yeah, I should probably post them. I feel like these pictures describe the subreddit better than it describes itself. Like this one is also very visionary. This is like, I can handle it, you know what I mean? I can do the task.
But the photographers still ask you to stand like this. It's so annoying. Like who does this? Also, they ask you to like to make your hands like straight on this. So
exactly.
It's like kind of this. It's like
that's nobody ever does.
No one ever does this.
Nobody ever does it. It doesn't look. It looks like I want to hold something. It looks like I'm waiting for somebody to put something in my hands, like in my thing, like maybe a baby or a basket with eggs that really should not hit the floor, and I'm just preparing my stance.
You look like in old shows from 2000s, like Criminal Minds and stuff. Mm-hmm. The opening video scene. It's like they're just same in every episode. In the end, usually the whole team stands as like a separate figures on a green screen. So it's like a very mysterious background normally, and they all stand like this. They don't interact with each other, so that when one actor leaves, they could just like replace them with the other character. This is that. Yeah,
probably, most likely, yes. I absolutely agree. Okay, but enough about me. You're the guest. I'm sorry, but I just thought. Some self-deprecation never hurts, because that's at the end why I chose these pictures for the set. And our viewers, we established our viewers are strictly limited to my parents and maybe Dimitri's parents and Adam's parents and Kilian's parents.
Can I show my parents?
You can. You're allowed to.
They won't understand anything.
Yeah, but I'm allowing.
I sent my mom my speech from the graduation ceremony. Yeah. She said, I don't know what you're saying, but everyone is laughing, so I guess it's good.
Yeah, that's fair. So your mom doesn't speak English? She
does when she wants to, but most of the time she doesn't want to.
Oh, okay. So
it's like me with German.
Yeah, I get it. So I guess in that situation, she didn't want to listen, or like.
But it's also like a recording from like Lisa's side, so like last row of me talking in a big audience with a lot of people talking over me. So I can understand why.
That's fair.
But I also brought a picture of me with me.
Yes.
We'll talk about it a bit later.
Okay, I like that.
It's a test.
All right. But okay, so you grew up in Russia. In what's the name of the town? I really tried. I didn't even put it in my notes because I was too embarrassed to say it in front of you. And in front of my parents, and pronounce it. So
you already fuck up my name, so
Nastya.
Yeah. In the very beginning you said Nastya, so now to fuck up the name of my hometown would not be that bad.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. Yeah. I know.
It's Ulyanovsk.
Ulyanovsk.
Yeah, you said it very nicely.
Ulyanovsk.
It's a motherland of Lenin. if you know this guy.
Oh,
like
yes.
A revolutionary kind of.
He's basically
pretty famous.
my what do you call my patron saint, because he's the same name as I do, only with like the 2 letters in the end swapped around. Lenin.
Are you aware that it's not his real name?
Yes, of course I am.
Okay, yeah.
I know his real name too by heart, but I'm not gonna say it because he's like...
Everyone knows this. It's like, why would we?
Okay, so you basically birthed from the same soil that Lenin was birthed from.
Yeah.
That must feel pretty epic.
Yeah, that's, I think, actually the only thing that my town is kind of proud of. Like, everything is called for him.
Really?
Or the fact that it's the city on Volga River.
Yeah.
Which is also quite epic. Like, in our country, in our city, it's already like a big thing. It's like, we own this river.
Right,
So
you showed me a picture of the Volga once.
Yep.
It's so big. It's so like, it looks like a lake, but it's a river. Think about that.
Yeah, in some places it's super wide there. It's like 2, 3, 4. I think in the widest place like 8 kilometers wide. I might be mistaken here. You should fact check me for sure. But the bridge, the bridge that we have in our city, like the new one, the longest one, I think it's 12 kilometers. But it's not like fully on the water, so like it has part on the ground.
Yeah, I mean the bridge looks really, really crazy.
I had a little fact-checking moment, a little Jamie pulled it up moment.
Adam pulled it up.
Adam, because you said you were born in
Ulyanovsk.
Ulyanovsk.
Yeah.
And then I googled Lenin for his actual name.
Yeah.
And it said here that Lenin was born in Simbirsk.
Yeah, because it's the past name of the city.
And it's now called
Ulyanovsk.
Named after Lenin.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's quite big. It makes sense that the city is named after him.
Yeah.
We got cities named after worse people.
So. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there was Stalingrad in the past and Leningrad before that, and then now it's called just St. Petersburg, which is a bit boring, if I'm honest.
I mean,
Wait, was St. Petersburg called Stalingrad?
Yes.
No.
Right.
St. Petersburg was called Leningrad.
Right. Yes.
Which is for the Lenin again.
And Stalingrad was called?
And Stalingrad was another city. It's called Volgograd now. It's also kind of close by. It's also on Volga River. Mm-hmm. It was a very big place during the World War II. So it's
right. And is this the bridge in Ulyanovsk?
This is an old one. This is not that. It's not that long. I think it's like 2 kilometers.
It's fat. I don't know. Like okay, but this is the new one then.
No, this is I think also old one. Now you were just like too general.
Yeah,
Volga
no,
is too
I'm
big for this shit.
Volga with Ulyanovsk. I googled. What should I Google instead?
I mean, if you want to see the bridge, you just
width of the Volga by up to 35 kilometers.
Yeah, you see.
Are you kidding me?
It looks like it's a sea. You cannot see the other side of the river.
That is beyond me. How a river can get this big. Like, look at this. Look at, like, in the back here. Like this.
It looks like some photoshopped clouds, I will be honest.
It really does. Yeah, that's true. But the river, it does look like a long lake. Like, especially in Austria, we have many lakes that are, like, kind of thinnish and long. And it looks like that.
I mean, that makes sense that we call a lot of things after Volga in our cities. It looks very beautiful. Everyone likes it. So, like, all the hotels are Volga, restaurants Volga.
Everybody loves the Volga.
Yeah.
Volga can do no wrong.
You can swim there. I mean, it's like a...
Does it have like a current or something?
Yes, but it's very slow.
Because there's like so much space for the water to... Yeah, there's this thing when you like compress water into a small space that's flowing, then it gets super like...
Now you should talk to my boyfriend about this thing.
Oh, he's very... you're not here for that.
I know.
Okay, I understand. Okay. So
I'm here for bureaucracy.
Joachim may probably also watch this, right? Like at least you're...
It depends how it goes.
Okay. What?
If it's very bad...
then he will definitely watch it, of course.
Yeah, probably.
Right? If it's bad, like he will want, like if it's very good, and if you're like, it was like, or not if it's very good. If it's like good, you know, if it's like, yeah, it was.
If it's mediocre, then probably.
Then he will be like, yeah, okay, I must skip it. But if it's very bad or very good, like either of the extremes are fine.
Yeah, but maybe invite him to talk about like Volga currents and like
okay, I will not. But okay, but you know, I still think like so you grew up in Ulyanovsk, and then if I'm correct, you did your exchange in Vienna in 2019.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
I know a lot about my friends, guys. See?
Is it on my LinkedIn?
No. Wait. It might be, but I didn't check it. I gotta be like, I didn't check your LinkedIn. It's also not in my show notes. I just, I kind of like just stirred up that fact.
And how is it? Okay, where is it going? This fact?
And you did, right? Like that was your first. That was your first. That's where it's going. That's please be like. I think it's very funny what you're doing. Like how you're trying to make me regret inviting you, but I'm not letting you. You know, like
I'm not even trying right now. I'm just Okay.
Oh, so what you're saying now is like, I need to be scared for what's about to come.
No. Just go on. Honestly.
Okay.
Just having a nice little conversation with me.
Having a nice little conversation with Nastya.
Yeah, I did an exchange semester in Vienna. It was very nice.
Right.
It was very different from my experience right now. It's like kind of long vacation.
Okay.
And based on this long vacation, I decided, that's a city to leave. I will come back.
And also based on Joachim, right? Because you met him.
Joachim was not there yet.
No?
No.
Didn't you meet him on exchange?
No, I met Joachim later. On Tinder.
Right.
Yes, it was my preparation to go for my master's in Vienna to find a boyfriend.
But that's nice. I mean, okay, so you were in Vienna 2019 in the spring summer term or fall winter?
Spring summer.
Okay, so early 2019, there was no COVID.
Everything was great.
Peace. Everything was great. We have to have peace, you know, like Trump would say. Sometimes. And then you went back from your long vacation and you were like, let me come back in 2021 in the height of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I won't argue with this.
Sounds like a vibe. Then, I mean, for an exchange also, the real brushes with bureaucracy start for people, usually the people who really come here. Like also if I talk to people with exchange, everybody's like, it was not that bad. I just got this and that. And then, for example, if you talk with like also another study colleague of ours is Luca. If you talk about his process coming to Vienna from South Africa or to Akash, who I really wanted to invite today as well, but he's still in India, about coming to Vienna from India, then all of a sudden the picture changes quite a bit. And maybe you just want to tell that story for however long you want, and I'll interject whenever I have questions, if that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I decided to apply to actually any master program that would fit in VU. So that I can move to Vienna. It's like a not very educational motivated person I am.
More like just Vienna is a vibe. I want to go there again. Yeah.
And so I applied. I actually wanted to do the quantitative finance program first.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, this one sounds cool as well. Honestly, like not knowing the hype around SIMC back then, probably if I would known how competitive it is and how cool it is, I would be a bit more terrified. But back then it looked just like some consulting program. Okay, I'll just apply. I applied. It was kind of medium hard to get in. It was annoying, but it was okay.
Yeah.
But then I had to actually make a residence permit to get to study here, and that was harder than getting to the program by far.
Which is crazy because I mean it wasn't impossible, but definitely wasn't fun to get into the program.
No, it's just hard. It's starting with like the fact that you need to like get an appointment on time, and it's normally like they work 2 days per week, and they have like very many people who want to do things.
Yeah, they're really chilling here.
No, it was still in Moscow.
Okay.
It's embassy. I mean,
yes,
so
the Austrian. So it's, I mean, there's some Austrian spirit there. In the embassy. Yeah.
Then you need to collect a lot of money because you need a lot of money that you don't own.
Yeah, I mean, how
to get to Austria.
For the visa just or
For the residence permit. You first apply for residence permit, it's a different things. Okay. You apply for residence permit, and that's why it's easier to go on exchange, because exchange normally is like less than 6 months. And if you go for less than 6 months, you can just do the visa D. And it's quite simple. And residence permit is a different thing, because you apply for this in Moscow, in your country, wherever you're from. Then you make the visa D to get to Austria, and then you receive your permit in Austria. So it's like a 3-part process of doing this that can take approximately, it can take up to half a year, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
They can take however they long, I think up to 3 months to just look into your application, like first application from your home country. And God bless if you forgot to submit some documents and you have to
Oh my God.
give them more documents, because you apply in Moscow, but they send the documents to Vienna by post. So they can look at these documents.
That's obviously very efficient to use the postage from, that's great.
So imagine you did not give one document, they have to send one more document, I guess.
Via post. It is beyond me why they do it this way.
I mean, everything is holding on a post in Austria, it feels like.
Yeah. For whatever reason. Why they can't just scan them in and send them via mail.
It's a topic for the separate podcast.
I would say so too. Yeah.
And then you apply again for visa D. It's a different application. It's a bit easier because you have a reasoning. This is, I applied for a residence permit, I got approved. You get visa D, then you come. You have to make a new appointment in Vienna. They don't do an appointment for you. You have to do this when you come. So you have to catch an appointment. No, you normally, I think I emailed them that I'm here, like send me the appointment, and then you come again. You prove again that you have money. So you bother your friends again to borrow you, like, I don't remember, to be honest. I always forget the sum.
But you have to come up with a lot. I think it's like around 5K, right, or something like that.
It's more, and it gets more after you turn 24. I think that after you turn 24, you're like completely. Your expenses.
You're done.
Your expenses rise by 2 times. You cannot eat in McDonald's anymore. You have to go to like restaurants. I guess, which is like.
That seems like a flawed assumption based on just income statistics, like very average, like age income statistics.
Yeah, I mean, double is a bit rough, but I mean, you just bother twice amount of friends.
They doubled it.
Yeah. After 23, the amount you need is doubled.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, you have to sum up all the rent costs. Well, actually, it's a complicated formula. It's like a pure math there. Like
I can imagine. That sounds very fun to fill out.
Yeah, you just normally borrow a bit more than you need to. Then you send it back next day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I had like a 15K on my bank account one day a year, and then it's all gone.
Goodness.
Yes, then you get your permit. You're very happy for the year.
You get. So first of all, I have to say about this whole like checking if you have money thing. I think it's a nice idea in principle, because you don't want the people who get here to overwhelm the social safety nets and stuff like that. At the same time, it's so weirdly arbitrarily implemented by just telling people we're gonna check your your bank account once, and we will take no other metrics at all into account. And then at the same time, honestly, I also think it's a little inhumane to do that, but that's another discussion again as well. But I mean, yeah.
I think they are definitely aware that people ask other people to borrow their money, but isn't it like, I feel like it's okay, because it's also kind of proves that if in case you really need money, you have like enough people who would borrow you that amount of money. I think it's okay. Honestly, I think most of us have enough friends to borrow at least amount when you are below 24. About 24 is a bit complicated. I mean, I don't know. Also about like overwhelming social systems. As a student, I don't think you are like before you worked, I mean, right now, after you worked, of course, you are eligible to have like some Arbeitslosengeld, whatever, I miss money. But before that, I don't think you are able to get anything in Austria as a student from
another country.
Yeah. So I don't think how social system would work in here. I don't think you like, honestly, you owe everyone and no one gives a shit about you. It's very kind of this situation.
Okay, but then why are they even asking about the money in the first place?
I don't know. I mean, everyone does, so they also
maybe it's just like, I mean, we don't have to think about it because everybody does.
There's no money.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, keep going. Sorry, I just wanted to... So after you did like the whole borrowing money thing, then you get your residence permit.
Yes. You have a card, very beautiful, with your name. That is valid for a year.
It's probably shiny and like...
It is? I can show you.
Yes, please. It's probably like...
Yeah, it has like music notes, all proper Austrian.
Oh, very like... It's probably like a Mozart like kind of...
Yeah.
Kind of... Oh, wow. It has like 3-dimensional like embossings in there. It's pretty legit.
I mean, you pay like 200 euros.
For the service fee for the card, right? Yeah, this is like beyond. For my driver's license, I paid 120 euros service fee.
I mean, you're Austrian.
Yes, but it's a lot of money.
I mean, it's beautiful. It has notes in it. I mean, okay.
Yeah, the driver's license also has notes in it. I agree. It's like you could frame it.
It's like a nice little bonus.
Yeah, you need to inevitably reapply for a new one, right?
Yeah, every year.
And every year, which is also funky and interesting. And I think we're gonna get into that. But then you can have like a little art series, in like a hallway or something in your room.
No, they take it.
What?
They take the old one and they give you the new one. And you can only have one at a time.
Even though it says explicitly on the residence permit, hey, this is like not
expired. No, they take it. So I only have this one right now.
And did you have to pay another 200 euros?
Yeah, every time. Every time you do it, you have to pay again.
Dimitri is really shrugging right now. Like that's really that's rich. That's rich.
I mean, it's a new card, so it takes new money to print it. I suppose.
Right, it takes like probably 2 euros maybe with all the safety features in there, if not less, honestly, like if not less than €1.
But also they have to pay poor MA35 workers.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for them.
They are honestly, I have sympathy, empathy, everything for them, even though they are.
Let's do it one step. Yeah, let's do it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna be sympathetic and at the same time trash on the MA35 a lot in this episode. So first, I wanna. So okay, you have the residence permit.
Yes.
From the residence permit, how do we continue? Like, what's the process?
I mean, you have it for a year, and then before, like 3 months before it expires, you can like apply for the prolongation.
Okay, but then to come, you also need a visa, right? What's that for?
No.
I mean the initial process. Like the initial process, you first. First time you got your residence permit.
Then you don't have visa.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
No, then you don't have a residence permit yet. You can only get residence permit when you are already in the country, and you can only get in the country with visa.
Oh, that's it.
So you first apply for residence permit. You will receive notification from a message from Austria that it was approved. Then you can apply for the visa D, which is half a year visa.
Yeah.
And with like when you enter the country with this visa, you have to within the time while this visa is valid, apply like take your residence permit from the MA35 office, bring again all the documents to show them again. I don't know why they have to see it again. They have to see money again. They have to see all the documents once more.
It's funny to me. Yeah. Okay.
And
so weird.
I mean. Just to double check.
Yeah, just making sure, because if we see that it's on your bank account twice, then we really believe you.
It was very funny though the first time I came because my Russian bank card was still valid. It was 2021, I think December. So it was very close actually, and you could prove I had some money on my Austrian bank account and some part of money on my Russian bank account in rubles. And so I was bringing like a printed my printed bank statement from the Austrian bank, my printed bank statement from Russian bank in rubles, and then like a current exchange rate printed from the Google with the current rate. So the worker can transfer the ruble amount I have on my bank account into euro, sum it up with my euro bank account in Austria, and receive the final sum that is proper. It's fun. It's
so nice.
It's like a little exercise.
Yeah, it's it's like
just like testing if you're smart enough to.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, but they really are, huh?
Yeah.
Like that is so. Okay, keep going.
It was funny in Russia when I applied and I showed my money in Moscow. I was
in
giving
rubles
the
still.
document. I was showing it on my in rubles. I mean, in Moscow, I only had a ruble bank account, and back then it was okay if you show it in rubles.
Okay.
Because cards were valid.
Still, even though it's at the embassy, and it's like
because cards were still valid.
Right.
Like, so I could pay with my ruble card here.
Right. That's another whole.
It was you should talk to someone who applied for this thing after the war to figure out how.
Oh my God! I
don't even know how it works now.
Yeah.
Yes, and they were like, my money was not on a card account but on a savings account. Because honestly, just because I had to have my money visible on my account statement in a day, because I got money like the day before I had to go to the embassy to apply. And when you put so much money on the card statement, it's not visible until online for them until like a couple of days. And on savings account, for some reason, it's visible immediately. So it's like this was the only rationale here. But the advantages maybe of some advantages of Russian banking system is that I had my saving account and my card account on my mobile app, and I could transfer from saving to the normal one and from the normal to saving freely from my phone, however much you want.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do it. Probably you can.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I came to the MA35 still, embassy, gave it to them, and they said, you have to prove that you, like, we don't believe you that you can use this money in Austria. I was like, why?
What?
Yeah, it's like, can you give us a proof that you can use this money in Austria? I'm like, what kind of proof? Like, how do I prove you that?
Oh, because it's on a savings.
Yeah. And they're like, I don't know, ask like your bank to issue some statements that you can access this saving account in Austria. And I came to the bank and I had like 4 women around me, so shocked with the request. I was like, we never made this kind of statement. So I had to text to the big office of the bank. And some analyst or intern had to come up with this like official letter. Yes,
the document. Yes, you can
access this money in Austria, and I had to bring it.
That's so funny,
and then it was okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's funny because it's a little bit of a luck game. Because I'm pretty sure that for a lot of people it worked just with a saving account. There are documents in the requirements that are kind of the requirements, but also kind of not. So like, technically you need them, but some people don't submit them and they're okay. But some people don't submit them and they're not okay, and they require them to send them. So it's like a little bit of like, you can test your luck a little bit. Yeah.
Also nice.
Yeah.
So you have both a skill and a luck assessment before even entering the country.
I think that's
cool.
like a necessary thing. I don't know how they like decide who will get the bad luck today and who will have to send 5 more documents.
This is Austria we're speaking about. Like you have to be, like you have to count yourself lucky to be here. You know what I mean?
I'm so lucky.
Right. I know.
Every day I wake up.
You're like, oh. yeah, I understand.
No, it's, I feel like being here as a like non-EU citizen, you really feel the...
like third party kind of vibes.
I'm jealous of people so often. I'm jealous of people. Sometimes I'm scrolling Instagram and there are people just doing like random things, like swimming in the ocean. And I'm like,
so like traveling to
and I'm
Italy.
Like, you probably don't think every day whether or not your insurance is still valid. You probably don't think every day about like a lot of like bureaucratic thing that you don't know if you're like still compliant with them or not compliant. This is like a kind of mental weight of this whole thing. Even though you do it every year, there's a lot of gray area in Austrian bureaucracy as well.
Yeah.
Which is like you don't know whether it's like this or whether it's like this, and you're just lucky if people don't notice that you are not compliant with this. You're just never sure, and it's I think the part that sucks the most, that you're always in a process of thinking about things like this, which you don't normally do if you are like in your own country. I never thought about insurance in Russia, honestly. Like, it just exists.
Yeah, somehow it's gonna be worked out.
What will they do? Like, it's not like they can kick me out. I have a passport or whatever here. Like, it's like an actual possibility that I can be kicked out of the country, and so I have to actively fight against the fact. Against this.
But is it like really a possibility at any point in time, or is it a possibility every year when you renew your residence permit and for some reason it might get declined because there is some bureaucratic thing? Like,
I don't think that this is a possibility. Like a prolongation, I think it's okay. But for me, it's a real possibility if I don't have a job in a year. I just won't have like the reason to be here for the Austrian.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would have to leave, I guess. I don't know. So I have to find a job, please. If you
hire this woman.
Yeah.
Whoever is looking for a job, hire Nastya.
No, I'm looking for a job.
I know, hire Nastya.
No, you said
whoever's looking for a. Thank you for correcting my mistake again. Whoever is looking for an employee, hire Nastya.
Yeah, I'm great, honestly.
She is.
Yeah. Any skills starting from trash talking, being in podcasts, critiquing your presentations, your pictures, sometimes making jokes.
I co-sign that.
At times, financial analysis, M&A analysis, making presentations.
All of the above.
Speaking English, speaking Russian, maybe. I don't know if anyone needs this right now.
I would say especially yes.
Speaking bad German, if someone needs this.
Can you prove that actually?
That I speak bad German? I don't know, what do you want me like?
Yeah.
It's always stupid. Like
say yes, I speak bad German in German.
Ja, ich spreche sehr schlecht Deutsch.
Okay, that was pretty good. Like, if you want to sell yourself, you have to be honest with people. You know, like you can't say ich spreche schlecht Deutsch and then speak flawlessly. That's just.
Well, I don't know how do I speak German, to be honest. It's not like I have like a filter. I just say how I hear.
Like, I don't know, like bounce it off of Dimitri and Adam. I think that was pretty good. Like, what do you guys think?
Wo hast du auf Deutsch Schwierigkeiten? Was würdest du sagen?
Schwierigkeiten. Alles that is not Hallo, Servus ist Schwierigkeit. If I understood
but you understood it. You did.
Yeah. I mean, I understand more than I can speak.
Okay, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's just like a spy kind of qualities.
I guess that's usual.
Spy qualities also.
Yeah. Co-sign that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it their house, das Haus, or the house?
You know that like in the brain of every non-German speaker, it works like it's just like
yeah.
in between all of them.
You wrote it like whenever
Yeah. I would say it's das Haus.
That's correct.
Really? Okay. No,
correct.
house is okay. It's like I know that it's not a D because it would be completely stupid. I don't know some house.
Right. But it only started becoming weird to me how we have a masculine, feminine, and neutral like articles for things.
I mean, we also have it in Russian, so it's not super weird for me.
It's weird for me.
That's why maybe it's harder for me because
especially comparing it to English, because English is so simple.
English is very simple, yeah.
Yeah. And it works. Like, why not have it this way? I don't understand. Why do we need 3 articles for like 3 different like?
It's also a little bit of a test of luck, you see. Like as a foreigner, you do like in your head, and if you're lucky, you guessed correctly the article.
Like
and
insert arcade sound, you know. Yeah.
It's very fun. I'm not even trying recently. I'm just like, you skip the article completely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I notice you do that sometimes. Yeah. And I would probably do the same. But yeah, so I mean, I co-sign all skills Nastya mentioned before.
Don't let me leave the country, please. I want to stay.
Yes, please.
I have friends.
Yeah.
I have family.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is actually like, you're saying it as a joke, but I would be horribly sad if you had to go because of that. And so please hire her. Also, so before you were saying like that is kind of the thing that you're now focusing on. Because that would be something that could actually, if it doesn't work out, it would be hard, while it's not that hard to prolong a residence permit per se.
It's actually like, it's okay. The longer you do this, you know the procedure, you just come there, you show them the documents, you leave. Even though sometimes you just get unlucky. Yeah, here like the picture will come into the play.
Ooh, yeah.
Should we already dive into this? Okay.
Yeah, dive in.
So when I first time prolonged my residence permit, I brought the documents and they said, I brought this picture because you need to submit 2 pictures. I have only one with me. This is the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Dimitri wants to hold it a little closer to the camera.
No, that's pointless, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't matter much.
Why is it pointless? It kind of go like here. Stop. Now you're in the shade.
We're just showing the picture.
Yeah.
Scan it. All right.
We were showing the picture.
you can have it for now.
Oh, thank you. This is a picture of Nastya for all the audio listeners.
It's beautiful.
It's like, like a normal pass photo.
Yeah.
Where you have to look unnecessarily like not happy for like.
You cannot be happy for this.
Yeah, you can't be happy for this thing. Okay.
They did not accept this.
What?
They said that this photo does not work. And I have to send by post the new one.
This looks like a normal standard. You have to send it by post to Austria.
No. It's prolongation. It wasn't prolongation.
Just for the okay.
I was already in Austria.
Okay,
I had to just prolong it, but I had to send it by post.
Okay.
Just
put it.
Tell me what's wrong with this picture.
Oh, what is?
You have to try to understand what didn't they like about this picture.
I can also make this like a little bit of a guessing game for the audience. So, mom, dad, if you just scroll back a little bit to when Dimitri was showing the picture and pause the video and also think about what's wrong and then come back to this point.
We're actually showing the picture again now.
Oh, Adam is showing it now.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. So you don't need to scroll back actually. And then just unpause the video whenever you want to hear the solution. So I would guess you're wearing an earring.
No, that's not it.
Your hair is open.
No, it's not it. I would say focus on something that it does not have rather than on something that it has.
It does not have.
Yeah.
Is it just too small?
No. It's partially. You're close.
Should it be a full body shot?
No. What would you wear on the back
and
of
then
my
also the way you said that like a radio speaker, should it be a full body shot? That was a little, okay. What does it not have?
Yeah.
You don't have a beard. You don't have glasses.
Yeah, no.
You can't see your shoulders? Do you have to see the shoulders?
No.
Okay. Your eyes are like in the center and not in the top third. Is it some like weird dimensional thing?
No, it's not.
Ears?
No.
What?
The ears.
No.
But you can see like one ear with an earring.
Second one.
So they want to know that you have 2 ears so that you can hear it properly. Okay, I understand.
You also has to be completely healthy to get to Austria.
Is it a lighting thing?
No.
Is it Adam, you're the photographer, you're the cameraman. Like, come on.
Give me the photo.
It has nothing to do with the photo itself.
I want Adam to guess now. It has nothing to do with the photo itself.
Yeah.
Is your hair cropped?
No.
There is no second one.
No, there was a second one.
Is it not dated?
It's not, yeah. Wow, you're great. It doesn't have a date, yeah.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to see from picture because they normally have it on the back.
I cut it because in Moscow and Russia, you normally you make their life easier by cutting the picture at home and send them just
the
like a
proper
ready cut picture, yeah. So I did exactly this.
Here we don't do it because you could just be like
Wait,
20 years older?
And that gets better.
Oh.
So I took new pictures. I send it. Now I wanna like. Can you return the picture?
This will be quite hard for me. Dimitri will.
Yeah.
Dimitri will.
Now
okay.
look at this picture and look at my current residence permit.
You have to be fucking shitting me.
They are the same. It's the same picture. My current residence permit has the picture that was declined.
You are
last year.
shitting me right now.
Yeah, I like this picture.
Did you try resubmitting this one? And it worked?
No, not the same year.
Okay,
I mean, next year.
The next year, and they just passed.
Yeah, cut out.
Isn't that?
So I got to reuse my picture, even though it's like it was more than a year old by the time. So technically, it's not really like it has to be fresh. But I mean, that's a nice picture. I still look like this.
I'm blurring out your like numbers and stuff.
It's way too small to be visible.
But I guess even from here you can see
it's the same picture. Yeah,
it is exactly the same picture. Can they see it? Nope, they cannot.
I don't know.
Then you'll just have to take my word for it. I don't want to show like your residence permit up close. But this is beyond me. That's so wild.
I was very happy, to be honest. I like this picture.
I mean,
very
it's
much.
a great prank. Like you really done goofed the Austrian government.
I mean, it was also a different office. So I think like it just depends on like it's a luck thing. I told you. It's
but
like
it shouldn't. That's I think the main like it shouldn't depend on luck.
Yeah, of course not.
The process should be set up in a way where it shouldn't depend on luck. It shouldn't depend on. We're gonna read a lot about the
MA35
friendly people at the MA35, and it just bugs me because as a resident, as an Austrian resident, I know, kind of the pitfalls of Austrian bureaucracy you experience. For example, when you go to the hospital with an injury, which is free, like that's good. That's a really good thing. I just want to make that clear. I'm all for like socializing the crucial aspects of our lives, like healthcare. This is like a big feat. At the same time, it costs a lot, and you sit in waiting rooms for 5 hours sometimes with injuries, because the system still runs on like Windows XP. We don't have enough doctors. Adam is clenching right now. Do you have the same experience, or are you disagreeing?
I would disagree on the technicality of Windows XP.
Okay, it's Windows 95 or something.
I would not specify the operating system because that could be wrong, but the not enough doctors part will stay like that. Sadly.
The not enough doctors part is definitely correct, and it's also definitely correct that it might not be Windows XP, but it's a old operating system, like as old as I am. Like if you look at the screens where they show the names, it's like old.
I mean, honestly, I recently got acquainted with EIMS.
Yeah.
On
that's definitely also like a pleasure to look at.
The interface of this is so beautiful. Honestly, it's so fun. It's just like so not intuitive. It's like it looks like it exists since 2000s.
Yeah, which it does.
For the people who don't know, what's EIMS?
IMS is
Arbeitsmarktservice.
Yeah. Oh, and EIMS and just like electronic version. Yeah, this is how it looks.
But it's
just annoying to use.
Yeah.
Once you're like in your profile.
Okay, but I want the I mean it already. It looks kind of old. Like this, obviously, I can't log in now.
No, but this is okay for now. Like,
this is okay.
I can actually type in my data if we want
to
see
That would be pretty.
Interface.
I actually want to, but I am afraid of. Adam is saying no because it's a lot of work to censor everything out, and we want to keep it like. Yeah, I understand.
Nah, it's okay. Yeah.
But you can just tell it's old.
It's old. It's funny. You have to like go to specific screens to get to specific things. It's like you can see your messages on the first screen, but you cannot click on them and open them. You have to go to inbox specifically to open them. So I mean, it works. You can do things online.
You can do things online, but it also filters the people who are not digitally literate enough or too old to navigate like this maze?
Honestly, okay, we are going to this now topic. My most recent bureaucracy experience in Austria was yesterday.
Oh.
Because, as I already said, I'm getting now Arbeitslosgeld, and I was closely connected with IMS recently. And yesterday I went to IMS office under 25.
Yeah.
And so naturally I decided to, I searched it on Google Maps to see how to get there. And I, of course, could not overlook the striking rating of 2.2 of this place. They
got some good reviews.
Yeah, with the most liked review, not most liked probably, but like eight people said it's helpful. Saying, hey, please don't go there if you love your life. There is a woman who stay safe.
And can you confirm?
Actually, for me, it was a great experience. But I had a guy, Herr Schmidt, was my advisor. I can definitely recommend Herr Schmidt. He didn't speak a word of English, but I brought Joachim with me.
Oh,
and I understood what he was saying most of the time.
But so, do you think it's because of Joachim that he was friendly, or is it because he's like a genuinely friendly person? Because I know, by the way, there are many nice people working, obviously, for the state, and this show isn't meant to cloud on them, but rather the institution as a whole, which is dysfunctional and old.
No, honestly, I think he would be nice even without Joachim.
Okay, we like that.
They don't speak English naturally, and it's a problem. Sometimes it's a hurdle, which is weird because, especially it's weird for May 35 because in a May 35 they also don't speak English, which is weird because it's a migration center. Like you have people who are not from the country and who just came. So like, why wouldn't you speak another language? But okay, but IMS, I can understand why most of them don't speak the language, so you have to bring someone with you or like understand basic German to hear it. But Herr Schmidt was very helpful. He was speaking slowly and loudly.
So he was understandable for you.
Most of
Joachim did the talking.
No, I did most of it's not that much talking from your side.
Oh, okay.
He asks,
can
you work this? Can you work this? Can you work this?
Yeah.
Do you have the driver license?
What was his best suggestion? Like the most out there suggestion?
For the job, for me?
Yes.
Personnel, whatever, like HR kind of thing. No, he asked like kind of, it's not super weird. It's like in the scope of what you did for like.
Oh, so he doesn't suggest you to become like a
gardener, no.
Gardeners are
security detail.
Yeah, something like that.
No.
Or a like a morgue like operator.
No, they are very aware of what you did in your life.
Okay.
It's a bit scary because you get the point, like when you come to the IMS office, it's very digitalized.
Yeah.
You put your e-card.
Your e-card?
Yeah, and you get the number, and then you come and they already know everything about you.
Yeah.
When I came first time, I didn't know yet how to register. I came into the office and it was like, you're too early. What? You're not yet unemployed. You have still to like you.
Also, even
working.
before you were able to ask the question. Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. Like,
yeah.
What else do you know about me? What about my love life?
They got the notes. They got the cliff notes on you. Okay.
But honestly, registering as unemployed was quite a smooth experience in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did it online, which is I can recommend to everyone because I noticed in the reviews to the office that a lot of people don't know that you can actually like fill in the forms online and you don't need to go to IMS and bother people there. So that's an advantage of this beautiful website.
Yeah. I also wanted to say now here it seems like from what you're recalling is that IMS is kind of doing what it's supposed to do. It's just doing it in an old-fashioned way and something that's not really appropriate to our times anymore.
But I also cannot say for all the people there. I had beautiful Herr Schmidt. He was super nice.
We love Herr
Schmidt. Trying to help.
When you're at IMS, ask for Herr Schmidt.
I don't think you can ask. I don't think it's like a request.
I demand to talk with Herr Schmidt.
I hope he's not watching this.
He
doesn't speak English, so we are safe.
But still, I hope that he gets to see this, because if I was working for the IMS, it would make me feel really good that I'm like, actually considered to be doing my job, and I was actually helpful to a person.
But probably if you experience the woman that the comment is about.
Yeah,
Schmidt is probably 2/4 deep at this point.
It's
Saturday.
He may be drinking, yes. But do you have? Is there any more information about this mysterious woman, like what she did or why she's?
I think that there are actually like more references on some women.
Mm-hmm.
Slow, inefficient, useful, not useless and not helpful at all. Horrible place. Literally the worst place in Vienna period.
That doesn't sound good.
Most uncomfortable moment of the month. Not helpful at all. Absolute disaster.
It's definitely not worse than the public toilets in Stadtpark, because they are the worst place in Vienna. Like that, the scent you get in there, I'm sure I would take like an hour at IMS over 10 minutes in that toilet.
Also, IMS probably is not able to give you leprosy if you're not careful.
That's correct. Or HIV, or any of the above. Yes, I agree, kind of.
Yeah, let's not search for the particular, like, who is this woman.
No. I don't want to find any, like...
No. We're not...
Of course not,
it's
Nastya.
just Mrs. Schmidt.
It's Mrs. Schmidt. Like, he got all the nice and she's got all the evil. And they balance each other out
Good
perfectly.
Schmidt, bad Schmidt.
Yeah,
I was terrified when I was sitting there. The only straw that was holding me is that I have actually my boyfriend next to me who like speaks the language.
That was nice.
I can just like throw him.
Yeah,
Do the thing.
please.
Do the thing. But we were sitting in the waiting area, and there was some woman who like entered her office, and she closed the door so loud. That was like, oh my God.
Please don't
not
make me
her.
go in there.
It's okay. Maybe she's very nice. I don't know. I'm not.
How long did you wait?
Quite. I had an appointment, and I actually entered exactly the time where my appointment was supposed to be. It was very efficient.
Yeah.
So I don't have any bad experience with IMS.
Yeah. Shout outs to IMS.
But okay.
Yeah, like what I was saying before. I love when we go on tangents like this, but I think if I recall correctly, I was talking about, as an Austrian, you kind of get to know the infrastructure from that side. Like, okay, you wait long in the hospital because there is technically not enough doctors, because kind of while the Sozialversicherung, it's a good thing. It's set up in a way where it's much more beneficial for doctors to become private doctors. Yeah. And that's just not something that you want to encourage, I feel like. At the same time, also, of course, there needs to be a distinction between normal healthcare that is necessary and fundamental and luxury healthcare, but whatever. But I had like a cut on my head when I was 16. This is very anecdotal, but I know many stories like that. And I think I waited with an open wound on my head for like 5 hours to get somebody to stitch it shut. Which it just, that's like,
Which
it takes...
hospital?
I will not name the hospital. It was Meidlinger Unfallkrankenhaus. And real, like, chronically online people know exactly what that is referring to. But yeah, you wait a long time. It is slow. The people are, in traditional Viennese fashion, racist, unfriendly. Like, that's the stuff you hear when you're from here. Like from also the people who have like a different background, even though they didn't come to Austria. I know that it is very racist if you catch or you can experience like serious racism if you catch the wrong person at the public office.
I was kind of lucky with that. I mean, except for
also
the picture
you're white.
story.
I mean, that's
that's true. I'm like passing as Austrian most of the times.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Yeah. No, I went to the doctor, like to public doctor once. I waited very long. That was true. But the whole experience was kind of nice because I came and the lady on the register, like I don't know, who writes you down, like, gives you the number, whatever. She didn't speak English, and I was already like, okay, I'm doomed here. I probably should just go home, be sick alone.
Yeah.
It's okay. And she was like, no, doctor speaks English.
Speaks. Okay.
And she just called for the doctor. He came, he talked to me, and he registered, like he signed me up.
Okay, so it was chill for you.
Yeah, it was very nice. I mean, except for the fact that I waited like an hour and a half there.
Yep.
But that's
the vibe. Sometimes it's the price you pay for free healthcare.
In Russia, I also waited normally so long.
Yeah.
I think it's just how it works when you.
Yeah, I guess it's also, I know. And again, I think that just underscores the point that I wanted to make, is that we complain about these surface level things that probably there's not an easy solution to.
Yeah, no.
But I think when you learn about the things you experienced, those are things that there are so many easy solutions to these things. And it's just, it seems to be stemming from Austria's dedication to, staying away from any type of progress. Like now it's considered to be very innovative that we have a digital vaccine passport. And it's not, man. There are so many countries in Europe that introduced something like that in the early 2000s already. And now because it's new to us, it must be like the great innovation, and every news outlet is talking about it. And so that's also, to circle back to my question, that's also why it's really cool to have you here telling us about that stuff, because I think as a native Austrian, you don't notice the depths of the whole kind of systemic issues. You joke about them, but you don't really.
It's like watching a horror movie a bit. I don't know. It's like you're scared, but then it's like it's okay, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
they survive. They survive until like next jump scare.
Yeah.
That you get. I got one also recently, also related to the IMS application, because they asked me to send online. They asked me to send the picture of my residence permit, residence permit. I did. And they asked me, okay, but you said you noted in your application that you're done with studying. Why do you have a student residence permit? Did you notify a May 35 that you're not a student anymore? Why didn't you change the residence permit? And I was like terrified at this moment. I was like, am I doing something wrong? Am I illegally here? I don't even know. Like, was I supposed to change it? The situation is that I graduated in October and I prolonged my residence permit in September. And so
so you were still like student residence permit. Yeah. We're cooking for And
so I was like, I don't know, what do I do? So I called MA35 because who else would you call? And they said, we cannot advise you on this topic. It was very funny because who else can advise you?
They are supposed to advise you on this topic.
It's very funny. They sent us to like other big advice consultant, public.
Nothing happened. You're good. Just keep talking.
Yeah, public consultant.
Adam
whatever.
just turned in his grave, visibly, but that's okay. Like
I'm gesticulating. I'm a bit.
Yeah. Please articulate away.
Yes. So I called to these services.
Yeah.
And the dude said, "You are legally still here, but there's basically no actual rules on how it works. They technically." It stated that you have a right to be in Austria while you're studying. When you're done, you can apply to stay 1 more year to search for a job after you're done studying in Austrian university.
So you technically can extend like your student kind of thing.
I think it's not a student one. I think it's like a different. It's like
an in between. There's a separate.
Search.
But that's also pretty funny that we have a separate category for that, because that's also very Austrian bureaucracy of us to
yeah. I mean,
but okay. So there is one thing in place. Okay,
but there is like no rule on when you're supposed to like. If you are in my situation, when you still have like a student one which is valid, even though I'm not a student anymore, do I apply again immediately after I'm done? So like would be in a month after I got my current permit, which would be kind of stupid because it's to pay 200 euros again of the fee to reissue it.
That is so wild that this is so expensive.
Or do you wait like a year and then reapply? But it's kind of weird because it's kind of like you have 2 years more, and there's just no rule. There's just like they don't specify it. It does not exist, the rule for this. It's just a gray area in bureaucracy, and everyone just like don't notify them until their like current student permit is not valid anymore, or like they just find job early enough not to prolong it. But he's like, the advisor said that they advise everyone not to change it to the Arbeitssuch, whatever job search thingies, because if you do this, 12 months pass and you're done. You have to leave the country if you did not find a job and if you didn't do anything. This is kind of like the dead end for you. And right now I still can reapply, like to go to some other university technically.
Okay.
And like study something else and just prolong my current residence permit for another university, I guess. Mm-hmm. So it gives you a little more like room to wiggle.
Okay. And
yeah, that was a jump scare.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's
it's you get to get used to it sometimes. Already at this point, I'm very used to it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not legally here. Maybe I'll be deported tomorrow. I don't know.
And I admire that because I cannot imagine feeling like that. And it's a test. I think it's a shame that it has to be this way, because I'm sure you're not the only person who feels like that.
No.
Actually, I think there are many people like you here who feel like that.
There's a whole group chat in Telegram.
Really?
Yeah.
About people fearing deportation, basically.
People from like Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, all these areas, like basically who speak Russian or close Russian language, and it's like several thousand people Telegram channel.
Just Vienna or all of Austria?
Austria. Mm-hmm. And they just help people. They have like a guide on how do you do things to get to Austria. They have even like a website, their own, to show how to do like all the governmental stuff in Austria, like to guide you in the bureaucracy. Mm-hmm. Of course, naturally for the Telegram channel, they always have these big fights there. Sometimes it's like a bit of a show, reality show. They're also very funny fights because they're always very passive aggressive. No one is saying you're an asshole, stop this. No one's like, good, you told me your opinion over this because I searched for this, of course, for your opinion.
Yeah.
Because I cannot live my life properly. It's so fun to observe this. Yeah. I recently got into a fight there to protect Austria, Vienna.
Really?
Because someone texted that like, you moved there without understanding that that Austria like service is not that good compared to Russia, and public transport is not that good, and a lot of things are shitty. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, like what the fuck? It's not like we all came here because we were like, metro in Moscow doesn't work properly.
Yeah,
I don't like it, or like restaurants boring.
Don't work.
In Moscow, we should move. I mean, some of it is, I guess, valid critique, but I feel like it's such a privileged position to
argue from.
Also, honestly, Vienna's public transport is amazing, in my opinion. I don't have any complaints. It works.
I've never been to Moscow, but any other European city I've been to was like I think Madrid was pretty good, but other than that, like. Yeah, Vienna is pretty dope, but still, like, I'm not meaning to hop on the defense here. It might be valid criticism.
Yeah,
but at the same time, looking at it from that perspective in a group
it's just the wrong place to express this.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't move here because they seek better service or something like
but
this.
But do you actively partake in that group?
No. I sometimes enter like check things out. Like this particular thing triggered me a little bit because
and then you just responded.
A lot of these things, it does. Level of service is completely stupid to me. It's like when you move here first time and you complain that supermarkets don't open on Sunday, which is, in my opinion, if you can build your life around the fact that supermarkets don't open on Sunday, then it's your problem and not the problem with the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Like, you are immature. You are able to build your life around the fact that you cannot go.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And honestly, just people have more free time. It's cool. And the fact that the level of service, for example, in Moscow is so high that you can order everything and it will be delivered immediately. And you can order in the middle of the night, I don't know, the speaker box. And it will come to you in half an hour. You have a speaker.
Yeah.
It just comes from the fact that a lot of people are ready to work for very little money.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's that. And if you realize this, I wouldn't ever complained about the fact that I
then
can
you're all of a sudden
order things.
Yeah. It is for me it's hard to imagine the opposite, to be like up at 3 a.m. and be like, I need I don't know, not a pizza. I do need sometimes at 3 a.m, but like I don't know, I need a like drill or like a shower gel now. I don't know, like if I don't have it at night, I just go to bed and I figure it out in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
No, I mean, of course, if you're there, you're using it.
Yeah, of course.
I ordered at 11, like 2 ice creams.
Was it a readjustment for you to come here?
Nah, not really. I also don't really have money here for this.
Yeah, I mean, but exactly because of that, right? So you have to go to the supermarket in the morning, like you can't do the delivery stuff.
No, here just deliveries. I mean, here, even if the delivery would be that cheap, it's
still very expensive compared.
Yeah, I spend money more reluctantly here than I do in Moscow.
Yeah.
I don't know what, like, is it psychological? Is it like just because it's more expensive
here?
It may be. Or maybe because I don't have like a financial support really here from my parents and stuff like this. But I just don't. For me, everything that is above 25 euros and it's not groceries, it's like a spend. It's like
pretty fat.
Yeah, like I would consider this.
Yeah, I understand.
But groceries okay.
Groceries okay. Yeah, I mean, of course, if you buy them for like a week.
Yeah,
whatever.
3 days.
25, 3 days. But I'm saying like above 25 euros. Yeah, right.
So different life.
Different.
In Moscow, I lived such a different life. Coming to Vienna humbles you.
Yeah. Do you miss Moscow? Would you rather be in Moscow in a way?
To be honest, no. I miss mostly family, like friends. But the city, I genuinely love Vienna. I get like the criticism around like restaurants and like service in the restaurants, like that it's on a very different level in Moscow. I don't know, it's just you have more fun places, I feel like, to visit in there. But it's just a bigger city, yeah.
Yeah, Moscow.
It's just very big, very rich city.
Right. Like I think with the fun places, especially, I would agree, Vienna is definitely not the best city in Europe for like fun things to do. It's nice for doing leisurely things. I feel like it's nice for taking a nice stroll or going to a park or going bathing in the Danube, but it's not a place for like
it's
fun.
A very summer place.
Yeah, it's a summer place. It's a place for a visit. It's a place for
cultural.
For engaging yourself. But it's not a place to have fun. Like I was in Berlin over summer, and that's a place where you can have a lot of fun. Like Berlin is fun, but that's Anyway, so I think in the restaurants, I guess you can also make the argument that people just don't try hard to get a tip from you.
Yeah, that's what I told the guy as well.
Yeah, right. I mean, because they can be honest with you because they can afford it.
Yeah.
And I think if you get shat on from a waiter once, yes, it's unpleasant. And obviously, you wouldn't return to the restaurant. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to live in a world where people have to be friendly to me because otherwise they would get fired or not make enough money to survive. Also,
I don't really like the very clingy waiters. I'm just
hey,
just
can I get you anything else?
I ordered, you bring me food, leave me until I'm done.
Do you need anything? Are you okay? Can I do anything for you? 10% is actually considered a low tip, but we take any amount you were willing to give. Yeah, no, I can't do that as well. I love that we live in a country where
people can be honest with you. Rudely honest. Yeah.
And they don't care if you forget about the tip. They just let it go.
Yeah, they actually don't care much.
Because I tip always service personnel. I respect them a lot. at the same time, sometimes I'm an idiot and I forget things.
Yeah.
And I've never been bothered about it.
Yeah.
And I think in other countries that would be very unlikely.
Yeah, they just they sometimes remind you, and it's written on a check.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that also hasn't happened to me.
Yeah,
in
no,
Vienna.
also never. But I also never like really see the check. They just come usually with the terminal. They say,
yeah, this much.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
Which is also that was the biggest adjustment when you go to the restaurant in Moscow. They bring you the check. You see the check. They leave you alone with it, and you put the money, or like your cash or whatever, or the card, and you say how much tips you give. But you have time with your check to think about this.
Okay.
Here, you're like, especially as non-German speaker, my head is so slow with numbers. They tell me the total, and I have to like in a second calculate the tip, sum it up with the number, appropriate, and tell her how much I want to pay her, or her, the waiter. Them.
Yes.
Yes, and it's complicated in the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially with like reverse order for numbers in German. So I'm still sometimes terrified because
what do you mean reverse order?
36.
When they come to you and tell you the number.
No, the fact that 6 comes first and 30 comes last.
Yeah, but the fact that they say the number to you, because I thought you meant like written order.
No, you don't see the number. They say it to you, and you have to process in your head. And my first thought is it 63, and I first think, what the fuck, did I spend so much? And then I was like, okay, no, 36 is fine. Okay,
I'm in Austria.
Around 40, 36, 40 is alright. Yeah, 40 maybe. Yeah. And then you have to come up how is 40 in German. Yeah, but now it's okay. I'm better. I'm better in things. I get better. I grow.
Hell yeah.
I grow as a person.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah, that's my life motto.
Man.
No.
You want to read some MA35 reviews?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I read them normally every time I go there. Just
they are quite entertaining, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know if
sometimes they are tragic, honestly. Okay, so here we have the MA35 Einwanderung und Staatsbürgerschaft, which has a splendid rating of 2 stars with 773 written reviews, which is very impressive.
Yeah, people really want to say what
they think about. Have a lot of things to say about them. And just to give them the benefit of the doubt, and again, to highlight the pleasant experiences like the one you had with Herr Schmidt, I wanted to copy out one positive review. Also, this review was written by Humongous, which I thought was pretty funny. There is a very old meme about that, Humongous what, where a person gets very offended that another person calls himself humongous. Anyways, I'm speechless. In the beginning, I was like, wait, did he forget to tap on the stars the right way? Because he said, I'm speechless. Yeah. Perfect support. It might also be ironic, honestly. All my questions were answered in a speedy fashion, and I was treated respectfully and nice. If this would be a restaurant, I would say I'll come again. So, if MA35 would be a restaurant...
It feels like someone who works there wrote it.
Kinda, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they are planting reviews, which honestly, if I was a person who was actually working hard at the place, I would probably also be a bit...
Yeah, I would sometimes enter like a bit
I would enter a nice review. If I feel like, okay, I treated this person really nicely and it's probably going to get lost in the sea of bad reviews, might as well. Also, before we go into the negative reviews, I want to show you a quick video. Adam, did you want to say anything? Because you're in...
Yeah, I mean, I just thought about it. It would... It could be like hella awkward with your coworkers when you're proud with your work. You go home on the bus ride home. You write a good review, and then the next morning, wait, Adam. Some Adam commented yesterday.
Right. Yeah, you forgot to log yourself out of the
I
thing.
logged myself out. I comment with my actual name, and they're like, "You fucking work here, boy."
Yeah, now I'm thinking about like the MA35 worker explicitly creating fake profiles of people with foreign-sounding names to write reviews.
Bro.
Because you can't write.
That's why they
obviously.
answer so long, you know.
That's what they're
They're just
doing
very
all the
busy,
time.
you know.
I would be busy too if I was like do it because like creating a Google account takes a long time. You have to submit a new phone number, so maybe they delete the previous account, but then you have to wait a little bit. Man, it's like a hard.
It's a whole process, yeah.
Yeah, I want to show you a German meme.
Okay.
Tell me if you don't understand it because they are talking a little bit in dialect, but I think they
Dialect?
Viennese.
Okay, that should be alright.
But they are providing captions as well.
Okay.
And it's about, what it's like to go to the Magistrat. So let's see here.
Herein!
Hey, hey!
Hey, hey, der Hey ist schon gestorben. Grüß Gott heißt es.
Oh, sorry.
Kollege, Schweigefuchs. Ja, in der Kanzlei bin ich der
Schweigefuchs.
Chef. Und da wird geredet, wann ich das sage. Und Amtssprache ist sowieso einmal Deutsch.
Ja.
Was ist denn so lustig? Was in der Witzkisten geschlafen?
Oh, ja, no, also ich bin aus New Zealand.
Neuseeland. Nicht Seeland oder was? Dass du ein Schausager da bist, du schon gemerkt.
Entschuldigung.
Was ist denn das für ein Schwindeliger?
Oh, hallo.
Unser neuer Neuseeländer.
Echt? Sagt dir nichts oder was?
So habe ich mich auch schon gefragt, aber derisch ist er scheinbar...
Trottel, Alter. Hey, essen wir was, oder?
Oh, Rosita hat Schnitzel gemacht, gell?
Ja.
Komm.
Geh mal. Ich gehe auch.
Ich gehe auch. Super. Yeah.
That's very real experience.
Yeah. Can you did you have any run-ins with the MA35 like in person, or did you do everything remotely?
Remotely? Like when I come there and talk to them? Or
Yeah, right. Yeah, like did
Yeah, of course you have
any-
to go there.
Yeah, right. You have to go in person.
Yeah.
So, what do you have any similar experiences
Yeah, you
there?
just come there, you smile,
Yeah.
you try to say
Yeah,
something in
yeah,
German.
yeah.
You ask them first, like if they can speak English. They say no.
Always.
They say no always.
That's so smart to have people in the in the
Migration center.
in the center for immigration, in the governmental center for immigration, who do solely speak German. That's so smart.
They also it's
Immer
also
Ansprache ist
Because
Deutsch.
then, right, Ansprache is Deutsch.
they're also very funny because they take it as an insult when you ask them if they speak English.
What?
They never answer like sorry, no, Entschuldigung, na. They say no, nah. They're just very annoyed that you ask them about like the stupid question.
A person who wants to immigrate to Austria wants to speak a language other than German.
No, it's
That's so interesting.
yeah.
What?
No, first year it was kind of weird. Second year it was
You were expecting it.
hard. It was with picture. I had to try to understand her German.
Oh my god, I can imagine. Yeah.
And she was like probably the most unpleasant experience I had with MA35 with the picture one, because obviously she did not have to like turn down my picture. Honestly, it's not like a necessary requirement for them. I think they just like sometimes they don't want and they just like
Yeah.
they have like a potential thing that can be wrong, and they tell you this is wrong. Yeah. And she also was the only person who were like not really trying to like accommodate me speaking very bad German. She did like what people typically do. She just spoke louder, but same speed, but louder. Very in my face. It was you come back a little traumatized, but
I have people in my life, and I am definitely not going to say who they are, because they are probably going to watch this, who have a tendency to, whenever they speak with somebody who doesn't speak German very well, they start to try to emulate their dialect. And they start like speaking in an accent.
in German.
In German, but they fake the accent, and they also get louder and slower. I imagine it being very similar at MA35.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how I'm always like this 9 when they say that they don't speak German. It's just so annoyed. It's just absolutely bland. Like you no hope, no chance. They just
And so next time we probably also come much less happy and friendly and
I'm always trying to be very positive when I come. I feel like this is the only kind of weapon you have against bureaucracy and against all the governmental organization and people who are being annoyed there. Because normally, honestly, their day is long. They probably meet more people who are unhappy than anyone else in the services. Doctors also probably meet a lot of people who are very unhappy. Yeah, and those people also waited super long in a line. They come, they ask stuff. So the best thing you can do is just to be very nice to them, to smile, to like try to be in their situation as much as you can. Of course, if they're bad, they will be bad. If it's an asshole person, they'll still be an asshole. But at least you can tell that you tried your best. And normally people respond very well, very good to you trying to
being nice.
Yeah. I like, by the way, that this place has a 2.0
2.0 stars out of 5.
You know why? Because I read like the IMS that I went at 2.2.
That's pretty good in comparison.
Yeah, but it's only so high because people say I was hesitating to put this 1 star, but you cannot put 0 star, I think, in Google reviews. And all of them say I would not put even 1 star. Yeah. But because you cannot, you have like a nice 2 at least.
I mean, the star ranking always I found misleading the way it's shown, because it looks like, hey, they have 2 out of 5 stars, but you can't have 0. Yeah. So it's basically just the fact that some people gave 5 stars, which could well be employees, already puts them over the edge. Because the lowest is actually 1. It's a scale from 1 to 5, not from 0 to 5. And to have a 2 on that scale is bad.
That's like having 1, basically. But in this particular office, I didn't have problems.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's I think my office, the one where I went to.
Okay. So, but I mean, other people surely had.
Yeah.
Stepan says, we have not gotten an answer since 7 months. Imagine that. This is crazy. What do the employers do the whole day? Everything but their work, apparently. You have to, at the latest, not at least, but at the latest, after 6 months, you have to like confirm the application or deny it, but at least let us know, kind of. Because of you, people get divorced. I think Stepan had a bit of a personal situation.
Schade für Österreich.
Yeah, it's a shame for Austria. Wegen euch lassen sich Eheleute scheiden. Yeah, because of you, people get divorced.
How?
Because you keep.
I'm interested into knowing the story.
Yeah, he says you keep married couples apart over months or over years. This could be a very tragic story, but also he could also just blame his divorce on MA35, which I mean,
it's cool
if it helps you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's a very weird experience. Normally, they are okay. They answer you. I mean, 7 months. I don't know. They just, I think, lost their documents at this point.
And that should never happen.
I don't know.
That is beyond me. How situations like this can arise is beyond me.
I mean, when I sent my picture by post and the story with the picture, I sent the picture by post, and I did not know if it's arrived, if my mail even arrived there, if they called it. So I called like after a week, after 2 weeks, I called like just to confirm that they received it, so they can proceed with like doing stuff. It was kind of scary, and it was very funny.
What happened?
Because I called, they're like, we will call you back about this. Then, I waited like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. I called them again, and they're like, we remember you. We will put you in the beginning of the list now. I was like, okay, cool.
Epic.
I wait, no one calls me, of course, no one texts me. I call them again in like a week. They're like, we remember you. We will make your name in bold now. I swear that was my experience. They're like, we'll put you in bold.
Hey, now you're on top of the list and bold. So it can now it's only a matter of like 2 months.
No, wait.
I
called again, I think next week, and I was like, okay, it's getting funny.
Like, bold is not working, top of the list is not working. Maybe you need like a different list,
Or underline it.
Oh.
They said, we made it red.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
We made it in red. The thing is that the people you talk in this when you call MA35 are not people who are doing stuff with your application. So they don't know. If it's not in a computer, they don't know. And they have to just give it to other people. So it's not their fault that they cannot help you. Honestly, the guy who talked to me, I always talk to this guy, and I want to say, because I think they have just one guy who speaks English, if you call them. He's amazing, always super helpful. He always tries his best. Shout outs, honestly, very nice guy.
Shout outs to this guy.
Yeah. He said, he'll make it red. I called again. He said, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I try.
That's so funny.
He said, I think we received it because otherwise you probably would receive something from us already.
Yeah.
And in a week I received an invitation to get my ready, done.
So overall it just took 6 weeks or something, right?
Yeah, but it was it was getting late. I was getting worried.
That's so wild.
Because it took time. But the fact that they made it to the top of the list and they made it bold and then they made it red was very
I'm
fun.
sure they really like you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just calling to chat at this point.
Yeah, to just have a chat. Hey,
How are you?
Maybe this time you could, mark my name with a bright yellow or something. If it's already on top of the list and red and bold.
Maybe another list, I don't know.
And underline it or add it to a new list of the really, really urgent ones, where you only put those that are really, really urgent, and then move me to the top of that list and make me red and bold and
there are so many
underlined
hints of what you have to do and you cannot do when you text or call to email actually MA35. The first rule is that when you send an email, they don't answer and you want to send another email, it has to be a separate email. It cannot be the reply to the email that you sent before, because they go from the oldest email they have to the newest. And if you send it as a reply, it goes back top to the lists of their inbox, and they will answer it later. So if you want to bother them, you have to send separate emails, not one thread.
Understand?
It's you have to know this.
Smart.
Yeah, smart.
So okay,
let's move on.
Take that knowledge from Nastya. By the way, if you're in a similar process, just
honestly, you need any more hints about application.
Reach out.
Yeah,
we're gonna put.
That's another skill of mine. Honestly, if you want to hire me for this, maybe.
Austrian immigration personal assistant.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or company assistant even. Maybe there's a whole company of people who want to.
Please
move over.
Reach out.
Okay, Dorothea, a local guide with 38 written reviews and 92 pictures.
Now this is definitely it's maybe IMS worker and they're just cheating on each other.
Oh, that would be also really
They have a war who has lower rating. And IMS, I think, winning right now.
Which office? Yeah. Oh my God, that's epic. Yeah, maybe Dorothea is an incognito AMS worker, but she's taking her craft seriously. You can see that. I don't know if I should laugh or cry. To keep it brief, the people who work there are terrible and make problems out of nothing. Easiest, you just take up a lawyer. Otherwise, you need a lot of nerves and good luck. And then a smiley face. Good luck. Kind of really, it's like a brace for impact type of vibe. This is not gonna be easy. Brace for impact. Do you have any other nice tips, like get a lawyer or just spam them with emails?
No, honestly, it's pure luck at times.
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can do. I mean,
so probably pray or smoke some, incense, and
you have to be nice. You have to Joachim's mom said, you have to be like a horse. So you just only look forward. You don't take things personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, when you read all these bad reviews and you come and you have a nice experience, or you have a very nice experience,
then you're pleasantly surprised because you were bracing for impact.
Honestly, they're not very helpful, but they're also not that bad in my experience. You have to brace yourself that you might need to send more documents than necessary. But they don't speak English, so you have to be prepared for this.
Right.
But these people probably was not an issue for them because all the comments are in German. You just collect the documents and hope for the best. Maybe pray, maybe go messe beforehand. I don't know.
Go messe for just a brief,
Messe Prater.
Messe Prater, Messe Stephansdom, depending on where you pray.
Yeah.
Or where maybe you can get a tarot card reading or something to just balance out or get your chi aligned, like do some acupuncture.
What are my chances this year to get prolonged?
Yeah. Like just read the tea leaves or something.
Prolongation I think is not an issue. The issue is actually to get
there.
Get it for first time. And I think I have like a good experience because why would they not give me the permit? I got into the university, so I have very valid reason to be there.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, that's exactly like usually they do.
It's probably worse for like some workers. You have to prove that you're like a
I can only imagine
valuable worker, employee.
This has to be so dehumanizing.
Yeah, that's in general. I don't know, but it's in general the experience to be in another country as non-EU in a EU country as non-EU citizen. It's a bit sometimes it's humbling. Let's say it this way.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the doctor, of course you are annoyed with the line and waiting, but I'm always I'm not 100% sure that I'm actually able to be here. I don't know if my insurance extends here, maybe it doesn't. I'm always a bit cautious, do I have to pay in the end? Do I even have enough money to pay if I have to pay? I'm spiraling so much. I went to the private doctor once, but because I had private insurance, I'm a rich.
Fancy, very much money, yes.
And I was so scared, even though I confirmed 5 times that I will not have to pay.
Yeah.
They will pay it immediately, directly. We will be paid directly from the insurance company. I won't even have to bother with this. I was spiraling until I left there. I was okay. But private doctor was a super nice experience.
That is another Pandora's box that we could open now. But
so nice. It's crazy. Yeah. You call them, they say you can come in an hour if I wanna.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow or at night.
They are super flexible. They listen to you. They are helpful.
They have chocolates.
They do. Yeah. They have super fancy offices that look like spaceships.
Yeah. All the best equipment, Mac computers. Very nice.
Very nice.
Apple.
And unfortunate that this is the type of care that's reserved for people who can afford it.
Yeah. I mean,
but
capitalism.
Again, Pandora's, right, there you go. Pandora's box. I mean, you should know, you come from the birthplace of Lenin, so.
Yeah.
Jules writes, a month ago, she really is close, keeps it brief, keeps it short. We could have just employed people who actually know what they're doing and are friendly. And I mean, there's not a lot to add to that, right? I mean,
no one knows what they're doing. No one. It's a mistake to think that anyone in a bureaucracy system knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like in IMS talking about MA35 things. They don't know about migration. They don't know anything about migration. And in MA35, they don't know anything about IMS. It's they barely know things about their office. The best example of this
so funny.
Is that when I came first, I had to, of course, do the Meldezettel. Meldezettel it's called, I'm correct?
It is, yeah.
And so I went to the office and you had to do an appointment. And of course I was late. I'm always late. I'm procrastinating. And so they had, the closest appointment was in the month. And it was kind of COVID time. So I thought I could do it online. And I called and they said, no, you cannot
mistake.
because you're doing it first time. You have to do it in person. And so I was like, let's see. And I just asked to make me Meldezettel if I would do it, if I would be able to do it online. But I sent an email to all the offices, to all the districts.
Okay.
So I sent one email to all the districts, please do me Meldezettel.
Yeah.
And the variety of answers I got, that's so funny. They just don't know. They don't have a standard procedure.
Really?
Some were okay, but you have to send us your plane ticket. And I was like, what the fuck? Which plane ticket? Other was Otherwise,
think it came across the border legally, I think.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Which is also interesting, but anyways.
Yeah, other was like, yeah, you have to do it in person. We cannot do this.
Okay.
Then they were like, here's the Meldezettel.
There you go.
Then I was like, we will send it to you by mail. And so I got like, send more document, no, yes, maybe. And then others replied already after some first one registered me actually.
Really?
So they were like, yeah, you already registered, what do you want?
Okay.
So this was
But that's funny, so you can register in any district, no matter where you...
It does not have to be the one where you live. This is actually a tip. If you come first time, try texting all of them. They don't really know what they're doing.
It's free entertainment, and you will most likely get registered.
Yeah. I got it within an hour, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I got the response within an hour from like one of the first.
So maybe you just make appointments at like every single MA35 office in Vienna.
No, this I think you actually cannot. Like with an MA35, it does not work like this. MA35, you have to go to like where you live.
Okay, I understand. That's unfortunate, though.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Okay.
Only with registering, it's a loophole. But I mean, it worked.
Yeah. But Samuel has a different opinion.
Okay.
Unfriendly, stick in the ass. Like, I don't know how to translate hochnäsig. High nose holding, chin, holding their head high. And especially incompetent personnel. Whoever employs people like this in the public service, the peak of the craziness was a grown-up like worker, basically, a governmental worker who showed up in joggers, a t-shirt, and slides, like barefoot. Pretty epic. Slippers, like yeah, exactly. In room 16. Who sat in room 16 and worked through the application. So
I don't get this. Like, why can't you wear sweatpants? Why can't you be comfortable? I mean, I would not care.
Yes, you wouldn't care. At the same time,
Samuel cared.
Yes. Also, I get that you at least want people to look like they woke up for the job.
Okay.
To me, this literally paints a picture of a person who does not care. And who doesn't really give a fuck about what they're doing there. Maybe I'm prude for that. Maybe like you're absolutely right. But
for me,
I don't.
As soon as they're like
it just
nice.
feels bad for me, man.
But I like that they specified that it's room 16, so people.
Yeah, like don't go to room 16. It's a different address, so I'm not doxing any office and anybody. But yeah, I think. That coupled with the message, like I would have a different view on this if he was like everything was fine, but my only complaint is that the guy was in joggers. But it's coupled with the message unfriendly, chin up and incompetent.
Yeah, with this it doesn't sound nice.
Yeah, right. Anyways, Tina's World, Crazy Hunt.
I wonder.
Unfriendly MA35 workers. You are being screamed at and turned away. Interesting. The waiting time is like an outrage, especially with small children and babies. I would not recommend it, but unfortunately, it's the responsible, the responsible institution. So sucks to suck. And the worst one I saw, or the one that surprised me the most, is that they even turned away Wonder Woman. Like they caused Wonder Woman to give a 1-star rating, and Wonder Woman just wrote unfriendly until it can't get any worse. Shame on you. Yeah, I think that is sums it up. Kind of ties it all together nicely. Like Wonder Woman definitely knows how to express herself here.
I don't know. I had unpleasant experiences, but I never it never was so unpleasant that I had to actually go on Google and write a review.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just very lucky, but
yeah,
I mean they're not very helpful. They won't answer your questions. But
the thing is, I guess you're young.
Yeah.
I guess if you're older, or as Tina's World Crazy Hunt said, if you have kids.
Yeah, if you have kids, it's probably a disaster. But you just have to come prepared. Honestly, the best advice I can give is just search everything you can search for online. Read everything you can read online. They won't answer your questions. No, they're not. They are actually not even there to answer your question. I think they're just like supposed to get your document, check them, and send you home. Like, they don't know.
That is so
they
wild.
just know the set of documents that you have to provide.
Yeah.
And you have to bring them. So you have the list is online. You do it. If it doesn't work, you have now you can most of the documents you can send online. Pictures, of course, you cannot send online. Funny that you cannot just bring them in person. You have to send them by post. But most of the documents you can send online. Yes, they are not helpful. They don't answer questions. They don't speak English. But if you bring everything and everything is in order, the documents, I think no one will scream at you.
I mean,
my honestly, my communication with them is short.
I think you just described the epitome of a 2-star review. At least they don't scream at you if you come prepared and if you basically read up everything online. Yeah. So, I mean, that warrants a star.
I just come and I don't even, honestly, I don't even talk unless they ask me something.
Yeah.
I just come, they look through my documents, they tell me something, I get 80% of what they told me. And I said, okay, danke schön.
Danke sehr.
Tschüss.
Bye. Yeah. Okay. And so far, I mean, it worked.
Yeah. I mean, if you have actually questions, then that's a different story. I just imagine that there are a lot of people, for young people, it's probably easier.
Tough. Easier. Yeah. For old people, it's probably tough. Yeah, you're right.
Because if you don't know, and if you think that they will actually give you help, tell you how long it might take, they don't know how long it will take.
Yeah.
Then, they probably are annoyed and they would scream at you. Just
go the path of least resistance, you're saying. Well,
that's the only way.
That's a nice conclusion, I think. Adam is furiously looking at his phone. No more questions. Adam's bored. Nastya, we did a bad job. Your story is boring. Next time.
I mean, you invited me to talk about bureaucracy of all things. It's like, how boring of a person you think I am. I did this, I did that, and you're like, bureaucracy.
You do a lot of cool shit. You draw really nicely.
Oh, thank you.
You studied together with me.
I just told this to get compliments about my life.
You draw really nicely. You gave me, together with your boyfriend, your beautiful boyfriend Joachim, you gave me a lovely birthday present with a shirt with a character of myself on it. And then also a painting that you made yourselves, which also very nice. It's hanging in my flat.
Not only bureaucracy is my
Nastya is not only bureaucracy.
But it's more like I'm forced into this. But
exactly. But besides everything, Adam is not actually bored. I think it was very interesting to have a chat about your experience here. And with that, as I always like to say to the people at home, stay hard, stay hating on the Austrian government, and see you all next episode. Peace out. Bye-bye. Thank you, Nastya, for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Arrivederci.